Hello, welcome to today's Bible reading video. We're in the middle of a series called What Makes Jesus Mad? And this week, we're going to see that indifference is something that makes Jesus mad. And hopefully, by seeing that indifference makes Jesus mad, we learn how to engage in the things that Jesus really does care about. Our passage today comes from Psalm 72, so let's check it out. May all kings bow down to him, and all nations serve him. For he will deliver the needy who cry out, the afflicted who have no one to help. He will take pity on the weak and the needy and save the needy from death. He will rescue them from oppression and violence, for precious is their blood in his sight. And this psalm is attributed to King Solomon, the son of King David. And in the psalm, Solomon is asking God that he might have the same heart as God, that he might care about the things that God cares about, that Solomon might pursue righteousness, Solomon might pursue justice just like God does. Solomon asks that he would have the same heart as God to care for the needy, the poor, the oppressed, the same way that God does. And that can be challenging for us sometimes, right? To care about the people that God cares about, to care about the people who lack influence, to care about the people who are easily dismissed. It's easy to write these narratives in our heads about people that we can dismiss. Like, oh, they just worked harder. Oh, they're lazy. Oh, they're addicted to something. It's just easy just to kind of dismiss and be indifferent towards those people. It's easy just to stay in our bubbles. And not our COVID bubbles, but our social bubbles, and just worry about the things that matter to us and ignore things that are happening that don't affect us specifically. And so we just maintain those bubbles. We maintain those narratives. We make excuses for why we're indifferent. We make excuses for why we dismiss people on the outside. And, we've seen this a lot. We saw it last summer in the wake of George Floyd's killing, and just the outcry from communities of color, and how it's so easy for so many people just to dismiss those cries, to not pay attention, to not care, to not engage with those voices. We see it with that. We see it with homeless communities. We see it with children. We see it in so many different ways. It's so easy for all of us just to be dismissive, to be indifferent, to not care about the people that God cares about. And so we all need to make that choice, that decision, at least have the thought process of what's it look like to move from being indifferent towards all these people that God cares about to being engaged. In this weekend in service, Pastor Rob's going to talk a lot about how we can do that, how we can be engaged, how we can care about the people that God cares about. And really, there's just so many different ways to be engaged. And engagement, it can look like just reading a book to educate ourselves, watching a movie to learn something new, just going out our way to learn about the needs of people in our community. It could be, helping an organization like Warrior for Children that takes care of foster kids in our community. There's so many different ways to be engaged, to help combat indifference in our lives. And I think the scary thing is sometimes when they to go from being indifferent to being engaged, you just gotta just jump feet first into something and just get overwhelmed. But it's not that journey. Hopefully we get there, but it just starts. What is one step this week that you can take to be more engaged? Think about somebody you might dismiss. Think about a community that you might be indifferent towards. What would it look like to engage this week? To have the same heart of God who cares about everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you real soon.